Hello viewers, welcome to Elim TV, a station where you watch, learn and also interact. Your tutor today is Mr. Wanyoike, a mathematics teacher. In today's lesson, we're in lesson number 33, Form 4 work, and the topic is Statistic 2, and the subtopic is Calculation of Variance using an actual mean. On to the lesson objective. By the end of this lesson, you should be able to determine the variance of a given data using an actual mean. On to the example which is given here. You're supposed to use this example to calculate the variance of this data here. The marks are given in percentage. 20 to 29, the frequency is 3, or the number of students who scored between 20 to 29 is 3, 30 to 39, 2 students, 40 to 49, 7 students, 50 to 59, 4 students, and 60 to 69, only 1 student, and 7 to 79, 2 students, and 80 to 89, only 1 student. This data you're supposed to represent it using a frequency distribution table. As you can see, it is well illustrated there, and the marks and the frequency represent the number of students, and the midpoint is calculated as follows. You take the 20, you add it to 29, you get 49, then you divide by 2, you will end up getting 24.5. And because the class interval between 20 to 29, it is a class of a class of 10. How do we calculate the class interval? You take the upper class limit. This 29 is the upper class limit, while 20 is the lower class limit. The upper class limit should be read as 29.5, and the lower class limit should be read as 19.5. So in the lower boundary you subtract 0.5, and in the upper boundary you or limit you add 0.5, and therefore 29.5 you subtract 19.5, you will get 10, and therefore in this case the class interval is supposed to be 10, and therefore after getting 24.5, in order for you to calculate the rest very fast, you should be adding a class interval of 10, the class interval of 10, and therefore you add 10 in each case until you get 84.5 as the last midpoint. Then from there you take the midpoint, you multiply it by the frequency for each and every data here, and you fill the fx column. Then you come to the deviation. This stands for deviation. How do you calculate for deviation? You take the summation of fx, you divide by the summation of f to get the actual mean, and therefore the actual mean which you obtain, then you subtract it from x, that is the midpoint. You subtract it from the midpoint, and after you subtract it from the midpoint, you will end up getting negative 24 for the first one. So 24.5 minus the actual mean which you get, you will get negative 24. Then the other one you will get negative 14. Then you can as well add a class interval of 10 and 10 and 10, because the data has is systematic, is arranged in a systematic or manner, or the classes are arranged in a class interval of 10. Therefore you fill that deviation column. Then you take the deviation squared, the d squared, then you multiply by the frequency in each and every step, and you fill that table, and you get the summation of df squared, and in this case you get 5280. Then after getting that, you go to the calculation of variance, and variance is calculated by summation of d squared, you divide by the summation of f, and therefore the 5280, which is the summation of d squared f, then you divide by the summation of f, which in the table was 20. You can see it is 20. So you divide by 20, and the variance becomes 264. We have come to the end of today's lesson, and I'm going to mark the end of this lesson by assigning you this work. You have data here, and you are expected to follow the same procedure to come up with the variance. The data is well illustrated here, and therefore you are expected to come up with the variance. Then from there, for reference, you can refer from KLB Secondary Mathematics Student Book for the edition, and the publisher is the Kenya Literature Bureau. For more information, you can contact us using the following addresses. You can use SMS number using that number, YouTube at Erim TV, Facebook platform at Erim TV, and finally Twitter at Erim TV_KE. Thank you very much for joining me in this lesson. Till next lesson, bye bye. Really?